Hello, friend, and thank you for joining me for chapter 105 of Goodnight Punpun. Before we get into the story, let's take a deep breath together. In three, two, one, breathe in, hold it, and out. And let's enjoy the story. Sorry for calling you up on a weekday to tell me you want some of the souvenir gifts I bought. Yeah, just for cosmetic purposes, though, since it's bad for the skin. No, I don't mind. I have to admit, no one but you could just suddenly go off on a trip and thoroughly have fun regardless of circumstances. Nah, I don't feel like carrying more stuff around. Wait, did you quit smoking? Really now? That's not like you at all. Just get yourself hyaluron injections if you really need to fix your skin. Well, anyways, is it alright for you to not be at work right now? I've got a meeting at 1, but I'm free until then. Is working for that show even any fun? Those stupid quiz shows with random celebrities seem pretty boring if you ask me. Yeah, but it'll be over soon, and you don't have to force yourself to make small talk about my work. In any case, there's no need to make things more awkward than it is already. I might be your ex-husband, but I'm not just some other guy to you. Still, I would like to say one thing to your friend if you don't mind. I would advise you not to involve yourself with Nanju anymore. She's only got herself in mind. And if it benefits her, she'll toss you aside at the drop of a hat. Once she decides on something, she'll keep at it until she succeeds. She was always like that back in our university days. Just like the time when she suddenly dropped out of school right after I finally managed to land a job. A cushy job in the TV industry. That was because you kept nagging at me to get a job back then. With a girl as stubbornly strong-willed as you, I figured if I wanted to make you go right, I should first tell you to go left. I thought you might come to depend on me more once you had no source of income. But to think you'd run right out and file for a divorce. What do you mean by that? Nothing. I'm just thinking out loud here. In any case, Anadera, I hear you want to get into real estate, but why is that exactly? If I guess, it was because you just need some job to do. Am I right? I bet I wouldn't be too far off. What are you, 20 years old about now? Because if that's the attitude you're living with, you're not going to amount to much of anything, even in your later years. Don't tell me you actually think you've still got a lot of time or options waiting around. If you do, then wake up because it's too late for that. Even if you try your best starting today, you'll never bridge the gap between you and someone who's been trying his best since his teens. Let me just make this clear. What being successful all comes down to is doing something of significance and receiving the appropriate amount of pay for it. Nothing more, nothing less. Even if you find temporary happiness, it won't change the fact that losers will be losers. Just what is happiness to you, Anna? Marriage, health, engaging in your hobbies? If it's the small things in life that makes you happy, then I'm sure you'll find happiness. But know that happiness of yours is merely a delusion granted by the kindness of your modern day society. Don't assume that society can grant you that favor forever, because it will come crashing down one day and you'll be tossed aside like any other dregs of society. As they say, you reap what you sow. In fact, it'll actually be because of people like you that cause such a lenient society to collapse into itself. So, you see, you really don't have any right to complain when you're tossed aside or abandoned. Can you accept that? You only say that because you're the select few who've made it. That's right. I can only say this because I've succeeded. I've put myself at risk ever since I was a kid, battling unfairness, fears, and worries to get to where I am today. So why can't I talk down to the losers who fail to do the same? What's with you, anyways? Can't you talk? Or is it that you don't want to talk? Well, that's smart of you. I doubt you have any meaningful words to retort with. And the most you can probably manage is get angry at others. Hey, don't you think you're going too far? I guess even you're just a woman in the end, considering how much you're cuddling him. Is this kid even worth it, though? I've always thought you were one of us and not one of them. Was I wrong? It's fine. I'm already perfectly aware of all of that. The only thing I can really say in response is that you and I are people who can never get along. That's all. Satomi is, well, he's a guy without any flaws. I partly admire him because of that aspect, but I also hate him for that as well. Still, him taking his anger out on you was inexcusable. I have two things to tell you, Punpun. The first piece of news is about the manuscript I finished by myself, because another mangaka couldn't meet his deadlines. It's been decided the magazine will publish my work in his place. I've won a rookie award before, so if the reception to the story is alright, they said I might even get a full-length serialization. The second piece of news is that I'm pregnant. It's Sotomi's. Yeah, sorry. Then again, there's nothing really for me to apologize about. I mean, you and we're just, even I can get lonely, you know? Sachi, who's more important to you, your ex-husband or me? Would you really be happy if I answered that question? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. It's just a selfish request of mine. To me, it's you. You're a lot more important. I know I'm being a little self-centered, but I want you to continue being there for me. I've become far too considerate of others all because of you. Those words carved deeper into her already vulnerable heart. I've been wondering what to do for a while now. I've got no intention of letting Satomi know or even meeting him ever again. A part of me worries whether I'm being selfish, all this or not. About all this or not. To be honest, I still feel completely lost as to what to do. All he could do was silently stand there and support her, he thought. If I decided to get an abortion, would you come to the hospital with me? To that, Punpun quietly replied, yes. Thank you for spending this time with me, friend. And as a reminder, you're not alone. You matter. And I love you. Good night and sweet dreams. Mwah.